के बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं। दीज आर डिक्शनरीज। आपने दो डिफरेंट कलेक्शन डेटा टाइप्स के बारे में पढ़ा, लिस्ट के बारे में और ट्यूपल्स के बारे में। अब आप पढ़ोगे डिक्शनरीज के बारे में एंड सेट्स के बारे में। डिक्शनरीज आर इम्पॉर्टेंट क्योंकि डिक्शनरी आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ पाइथन। दूसरी लैंग्वेजेस में ये कम इस तरह के डेटा टाइप आपको देखने को मिलते हैं। जो पाइथन पे बेस्ड लैंग्वेजेस हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल जावास्क्रिप्ट वगैरह, उसमें आपको डिक्शनरी टाइप का ऑब्जेक्ट्स मिलते हैं, उस तरह के डेटा टाइप्स। लेकिन बाकी सी प्लस प्लस जावा इस तरह की लैंग्वेजेस में आप डिक्शनरी के टाइप की डेटा टाइप्स को नहीं देखोगे। अब डिक्शनरी जिस तरह से एक्चुअल रियल वर्ल्ड किसी लैंग्वेज की डिक्शनरी होती है, उसी तरह हम डिक्शनरी का स्ट्रक्चर पाइथन में क्रिएट करते हैं। तो डिक्शनरी में हर एक डिक्शनरी में दो वर्ड्स होते हैं। सो you have a word and then you have a meaning for that word. Okay, so dictionary का कुछ इस तरह से फॉर्मेट बना होता है that you look up a word and then you look its meaning. कुछ उसी तरह की चीज़ हम यहाँ पाइथन में भी करते हैं, but instead of storing words and their meaning, हम किसी डिक्शनरी के अंदर स्टोर करते हैं a key and its required value. ये काफ़ी कुछ लिस्ट की तरह ही है, बस लिस्ट में चीज़ों को हम इंडेक्स के हिसाब से नंबर्ड करते थे। यहाँ हम उन्हें नंबर्ड नहीं करते, बल्कि इंस्टेड हम सभी पोजीशन को एक यूनिक नाम दे देते हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, और कई केसेस में आपको डेटा को इसी तरह से अरेंज करना पड़ता है, ख़ास तौर से जब आपका डेटा सारा डेटा अलग अलग तरह का है। फॉर एग्जांपल लिस्ट में आप कुछ इस तरह से लिखते हैं, सो लिस्ट, ओके, लिस्ट में मार्क्स। सो आपको मार्क्स अगर स्टोर करने होते, सपोज 5 सब्जेक्ट्स के, 45, 56, 25, 85, 45, सो ऑन। ओके, आप इस तरह से लिस्ट में अपने मार्क्स स्टोर करते चले जाते हैं। लेकिन नाउ द थिंग विद दिस इज कि हमने ये नंबर्स तो स्टोर कर दिए यहाँ पे। अब अगर हमें इनमें से एक एक को आउटपुट करना है, तो हमें ये भी ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि किस पोजीशन पे कौन से सब्जेक्ट के मार्क्स प्लेस्ड हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, हमने प्रोग्राम बनाते वक्त हो सकता है ये अपने लॉजिक प्रिपेयर किया हो कि जो इस लिस्ट में पहला मार्क्स लिखा हुआ है वो फिजिक्स का है, दूसरा केमिस्ट्री का है एंड तीसरा अकाउंट्स का है एंड सो ऑन। लिस्ट के साथ ये एक इनहेरेंट प्रॉब्लम होती है दैट यू कैन ओनली एक्सेस द आइटम ऑफ अ लिस्ट यूजिंग देयर इंडेक्सेस। अगर मुझे इसमें से थर्ड एलिमेंट प्रिंट करना है, so I can use a print statement and write marks, and in the square brackets I'll provide the index. So index हम यहाँ से काउंट करते हैं 0, 1 and 2, तो ये सेकंड इंडेक्स की वजह से हमें 25 यहाँ देखने को मिलेगा। बट अगर एक से ज़्यादा लोग आपके प्रोग्राम में काम कर रहे हैं, या आपका ये कोड कोई और यूज़ करने वाला है किसी और टाइप के प्रोग्राम में, तो आपको नहीं पता कि 45 कौन से सब्जेक्ट के मार्क्स हैं, 56 कौन से सब्जेक्ट के मार्क्स हैं, 25 कौन से सब्जेक्ट के मार्क्स हैं। सो ओनली द वन हु हैज़ इनपुटेड दिस वैल्यू नोज दैट कि पहला मार्क्स सब्जेक्ट का, दूसरे मार्क्स दूसरे सब्जेक्ट का है। टू गिव इट अ मोर परस्पेक्टिव आइडिया कि आपके हर एक वैल्यू जो आपने लिख रखी है इस लिस्ट के अंदर, वो बेसिकली किस तरह के डेटा से बिलोंग करती है, वो वैल्यू किस चीज़ की है, हमें लिस्ट से ज़्यादा
Sir, you
बेटर।
are not audible.
आई एम नॉट ऑडिबल।
Yes, sir, now you are.
आई एम ओके। तो लिस्ट में जो डेटा टाइप होते हैं बेसिकली अनरिलेटेड होते हैं। सो दीज आर नॉट एक्चुअली रिलेटेड टू दी थिंग्स दैट दे बिलोंग टू। फॉर एग्जांपल 45 किस डेटा टाइप्स, किस चीज़ के मार्क्स हैं, ये हमें नहीं पता। टू इम्प्रूव दिस यू नीड अ बेटर डेटा टाइप। तो इसी चीज़ को पाइथन ने एक और नए तरह से स्टोर करने का तरीका हमें प्रोवाइड किया है, एंड वी कॉल इट डिक्शनरीज। So dictionary, they behave the same like list, but the only difference is that you can name the position of each value. You can name that what they actually belong to. तो मैं यहाँ बेसिकली एक नया वेरिएबल बना लेता हूँ, क्योंकि ऊपर वाले में मैंने लिस्ट स्टोर कर दी है। तो मार्क्स 2 लेट्स कॉल इट, ओके, या मार्क्स डिक्शनरी, बिकॉज वी आर सेविंग डिक्शनरी, वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ डिक्शनरी फॉर दिस वेरिएबल। और ऊपर वाले को कह लेते हैं मार्क्स लिस्ट, बिकॉज दैट इज अ लिस्ट, सिंपल लिस्ट। ओके, सो मार्क्स डिक्शनरी। डिक्शनरी को हम कैसे डिफाइन करते हैं? The first thing is that you don't have to use this bracket, but you have to use these curly braces. Okay, तो हम curly braces use करेंगे instead of square brackets for creating a dictionary. So you have these, और इसमें indentation ज़रूरी नहीं है. You can write in one line, or you can start writing like this, that this bracket you can put it below. तो यहाँ indentation ज़रूरी नहीं है. इंडेंटेशन सिर्फ ज़रूरी होती है जब आप इफ एल्स यूज़ करते हो या फॉर लूप यूज़ करते हो या फंक्शन बनाते हो, तभी इंडेंटेशन की ज़रूरत होती है. अदरवाइज डेटा स्टोर करते वक्त यू कैन जस्ट omit इंडेंटेशन, और आप यहाँ से भी लिखना शुरू कर सकते हो. इट डजेंट मैटर, बिकॉज इसमें आप कोई कोड नहीं लिखते, बट यू एक्चुअली राइट दी डेटा, और डेटा के लिए इंडेंटेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो ऊपर जो डेटा मैंने लिखा उसको डिक्शनरी में मैं किस तरह से स्टोर करूंगा. सो लाइक अ जनरल डिक्शनरी जो आप रियल वर्ल्ड में यूज़ करते हो, जिसमें हर लाइन में या हर एक स्टेटमेंट में बेसिकली एक पेयर होता है. यू हैव अ वर्ड एंड यू हैव इट्स मीनिंग. ओके, सो डिक्शनरी में हम इसी चीज़ को कहते हैं, यू हैव अ की एंड यू हैव इट्स वैल्यू. ओके, तो 45 जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल इन द लिस्ट इज द वैल्यू. But since list does not works on a pair, so we don't have a key for that value. लेकिन यहाँ dictionary में you can create a key along with that value. For example, you can store that 45 like this. So you can write physics, okay, and a key must always be in this double inverted quotes. You can also put it in single inverted quotes. Single inverted quotes में भी आप उसको put कर सकते हो. But it must be in a quote, okay? And then you write this colon. This is also important. So you write this colon, and afterwards you specify the value. If the value is a character, then or text, then you have to put the value to in inverted comma. लेकिन चूंकि हमारे यहाँ marks हम store करें, which is a number, so you can just write 45. Okay, so instead of storing 45 separately simply as a number, you are now storing it as a pair of a key and its value. So the key here is physics and the value here is 45. Now let me first store all these value, and then you will understand that why storing like this is more efficient. So now we can go on and save some other value. For example, we can save the marks. We can call the second marks is for chemistry, and now you can save this data as suppose 56. That was all right. The third one say that is for accountancy. Okay, accountancy. All right, and that's 25. Very poor. You can put it in caps or small letter, it doesn't matter, the key. The next one, let's call it history, shall we? History. And one other thing that you are noticing is every pair is separated by a comma. So you have to separate each and every pair by a comma. You can even write in the same line, doesn't matter, but it looks good to write every key pair in a different line. All right. And the last marks, let's say that that belongs to English. English, that is 45. All right. So in the end, you can put a comma or you can just omit it, doesn't matter. So dictionary, some very peculiar point to notice is the first thing is that you start with a curly brace and you end with a curly brace. List में हम square brackets से शुरू करते थे, square brackets से end करते थे. So a dictionary is enclosed in curly braces. Other thing that you need to write a pair, you need to write a key and you need to write a value. So the key here is always written in inverted commas, single or double. Then you put the colon, and after the colon you write its value. All right, so suppose in this dictionary I want to output the marks of accountancy. Okay, so I want to output this marks. In list I have to specify the position of this 25, where it is located. तो मुझे पहले से पता होना चाहिए अपने कोड में कि अकाउंटेंसी के मार्क्स किस पोजीशन पे स्टोर्ड हैं. अगर मैं लिस्ट यूज कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे पता होना चाहिए दैट 0 1 2 सेकेंड पोजीशन पे मैंने अकाउंटेंसी के मार्क्स स्टोर किए थे. ओनली देन आई कैन आउटपुट इट यूजिंग अ लिस्ट. बट यूजिंग अ डिक्शनरी डजंट मैटर, यू कैन पुट इट एट एनी पोजीशन एंड देन यू कैन सिंपली राइट प्रिंट. ओके, इसको मैं थोड़ा क्लियर कर लेता हूँ बिकॉज ये जो है आपका मार्क्स लिस्ट है, वेरिएबल का नाम चेंज कर दिया था हमने, और यहाँ इस वेरिएबल का नाम जो डिक्शनरी है इसका नाम मार्क्स डिक्शनरी रखा था. बट इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रोवाइडिंग 0 1 2 3 indexes, we provide a key. So we provide that we want to print the marks of accountancy, and we know that the marks of accountancy is saved by the key accountancy. Okay. So I will write marks dictionary. So it will look at the variable marks dictionary and it will see that this is a dictionary. And then I will say, okay, in this dictionary, find out the key accountancy. So it will look for accountancy key and print its value. So it will print the value of 25. Let me run this and you can see. देखो पहले ये हम लिस्ट जो हमने ऊपर बनाई थी उससे प्रिंट हमने किया. So position 2, 25, and then dictionary से हमने specify किया that we need to print the marks of accountancy, and the marks got printed, which is 25. Difference, what is the difference? Because both are doing the same thing. So let me change the position of this 25 from this place to some place other. Okay, so let me remove this and place it here. Okay, in the end, right? And let me do the same thing with accountancy. Right, let me remove this and place it at the end. Right, now if I run this program, देखो मुझे यहाँ print statement जो मैंने specify किया था पहले उससे अब मुझे accountancy के marks नहीं मिल रहे because that is stored in the end, but I am printing the marks at the which is in the center. I think that is Mahi. Again, it's a network issue. I will try to speak loudly, and that's clear. That's okay. Otherwise, the class is being recorded. बहुत terrible network है city में, क्या कर सकते हैं? But with this dictionary, you don't have to change your print statement to print the same marks. It will look for accountancy even if you change its position. You can place it anywhere in your code and then it will just simply look at its value 25 and it will always print the marks of accountancy. So ये फायदा होता है एक डिक्शनरी और लिस्ट के बीच में कि लिस्ट में आपको ये जानने की जरूरत पड़ती है कि कौन से पोजीशन पे क्या सेव्ड है, जबकि इन अ डिक्शनरी यू डोंट नीड दैट. तो लिस्ट इज गुड फॉर स्टोरिंग रैंडम डेटा जिसको आप रिलेट नहीं कर सकते किसी चीज से, जैसे the height of 50 students. But if you want to find the height of one specific student by name, then you have to put that data into a dictionary. So dictionary is more efficient in such cases. अब तुम कहोगे आप ही कोड लिख रहे हो, मैं आप भी आगे कोड लिखोगे तो बेसिकली यू विल बी नोइंग दैट किस पोजीशन पे आपने कौन सा डेटा सेव किया है. वेल एक्चुअली नॉट ऑलवेज, बिकॉज कई बार क्या होता है कि द डेटा दैट यू आर वर्किंग ऑन इज नॉट क्रिएटेड बाय यू. Okay, so वो data आप कहीं और से fetch कर रहे हो, probably from internet. So most of the internet works on a technology we call JSON. Okay, it stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So JSON is kind of a telegraph between different parts of internet and different parts of your application or software or hardware or operating system. It makes the communication between different services enabled. Let me show you by an example. Okay, let me go to the whiteboard. I hope my voice is clear at the moment. So suppose that we have a server for a web service. Say this is the server for Facebook. Okay, so this is the server for Facebook. All your data is stored right here. All your passwords and profile pictures and your friend list, everything is stored in this server. All right, now you have a phone. All right, so you have a phone right here, and this is an Android phone. All right, Android. Then you have another phone, say right here, and this is an iOS. This is an Apple phone. This is Apple's operating system. And then you have a computer. So this is Windows. Okay, so this is your web browser. You have a computer, Windows 10 or Linux or any operating system, Mac OS. So you have a computer here. And suppose in future somebody develops some other tablet or mobile or computer operating system, which is very different from all of this. Now, Facebook need to communicate with each and every one of them because it has an app on Android. So there's a Facebook app on Android, and then there is an app on iOS. Okay, and then there is a website which you can open on your computer. So there is a website, Facebook website, which you can open from uh, your computer, whichever operating system you are using. Now in Android, you develop programs using a language called Java. Okay, and sometimes with Kotlin, which is a new language, and sometimes with Flutter, which is again another language. So you have a variety of languages that you write your code in Android. In iOS, this is written using either Objective-C or using a language called Swift. Okay. In Windows, you are using a web browser which is written in C++, but the website is rendered using HTML and CSS. Okay. So now this is a problem because you need to send the same data to this different type of languages, different type of platform, which may not recognize your language because Facebook, the server is written in PHP. Okay, so this is a very different language. And in future, suppose somebody develops a new operating system and say that he develops it in some other language, maybe Python. Okay, so you create a operating system or an app that uses Facebook and it's written in Python. How are you going to, and there are apps, for example, there are certain websites like Quora where you can use your Facebook login and you can share your code from that particular website to Facebook page, or you can capture your profile picture and your name and your mobile number from Facebook into your Quora account. So your Facebook has to communicate with a lot of different things, or most of the web service works like this. Even smaller programs, even the clock, which is right there on your home screen on your phone, has to communicate with some external server on the internet to get the current latest time. Okay, and that server has to provide the same time to an Android clock, to an iOS clock, to a Windows clock, to a Linux clock, to a clock on some tablet or on some modem. How are they going to communicate if they speak all these different languages? So to overcome this, uh, some cool guys in early 2000, they come up with a man in the middle language. So this is kind of a language that each one of these understand. It's not a programming language. You can send code through it, but it's not a programming language. It's a language that simply stores data and sends it to different platforms and languages. And each language and platform can understand that data and translate it to their own language without any other support. So now Facebook doesn't have to know that it is sending data to Android, iOS, Windows, or some other new program or some other website. It just receives a request that we want to fetch all the friend list, or we want to fetch all the profile pictures of the user that is currently signed in. And what it does, it sends the data into this new man in the middle language. And this new man in the middle language will be the same for each and every device. And we call this language JSON. Okay, so let me write it here for somebody. Some people call it JSON, some call it JSON, but since this is an abbreviation, you can call it any way you like. Okay, that is not important. The important is that you understand that what it does in real world. It is a very important bit of computer programming, which is often neglected by various courses that you will study in different platform and used everywhere. And it creates something that we call API, application program interface, which is kind of a link between different services. So using different operating system, different platform, different language, you connected with the same service, you fetch the same data, and
each of these four are running on different languages. They can fetch that data and translate into their languages. And this JSON is written either in the form of a list, but mostly in the form of a dictionary. Okay, so it's mostly written in the form of a dictionary. Okay, so suppose that I'm just going to give you an example through our code. I'm not actually going to do this, but for example, if your phone logs into your Instagram account, all right, and let's say that because the feed page is quite complicated where you see what other people are posting, so I'm not going to go into that, but say that you are on your profile page. All right, now your app has to fill a number of things in that profile page. It has to place your profile picture, then it has to put the name, your display name, and then there is also your username, and then there is a little info that goes with it, and then how many people you follow, how many posts you posted. Let's say that all this data has to be fetched from the server, because even when you log out from your app, even when you uninstall that app, your data is saved in the server, in Instagram server. So when you log in again, all that data is fetched from the server and put into place into the different section in your app. All right, how does that happen? That happens again with the help of JSON, and it is structured just like dictionary. So if you, for example, Instagram, if you will query your profile, it will send a dictionary from the server to your app. So let's call that dictionary Instagram data. Okay, and in this, your server will send you, say, your profile name, your display name, say display name. Let's say that the display name is Pratik. Okay, and I'm putting it in inverted comma because Pratik is a text, and text value has to be stored in inverted comma. And then suppose number of followers. I'm not using each and every data that it puts on the page, so I'm just using a couple of them. Number of followers, say 56. Let's use a modest number. Number of following, okay, let's call it 90. So the Instagram server sent me these details and a couple more details like this. For example, display picture. Now it will not send the entire picture to me. It will simply send me the link where my profile picture is actually saved on the server. So it will be some kind of link like http instagram.com. So I can just put that in the image tag, and my profile picture will appear. Okay, so suppose my picture is saved on their server like this. So it sent me this data, and I can then use this data into my app at any place that I want. So I can display any of these data that I want on my page and hide any of the data that I don't want. And I can put all the data where I need it. And your Instagram app does exactly that. So it can print this data, okay, into different section of that app. Now, since the app itself is not written in Python, the server is written in Python for Instagram. So it does not use the actual print statements written in Kotlin and Java. They use very different syntax, and plus that is a graphical program. But in the sense of Python, I'm just trying to explain that it fetches this data, this dictionary from the server. It gains that, it downloads this data, and then it outputs it on the position where it needs to display it. For example, at some section, it wants to display the display name. So it will first write the name of the dictionary in which the data is stored, and then with the square brackets, it will provide the key in which the name is stored. So display name, all right? Now, suppose a different person logs in. So what will happen? It will get and receive the same dictionary, all right? And simply with the same keys, the keys will remain same, but the values will change. For example, a different person will have a different name, a different number of followers, a different number of following, a different number of display name, but the dictionary structure will be same. And this is the beauty of JSON. It can communicate a large number of data into different platform, and you don't have to write different code for this for different users. You can use the same code but with different data. Um, Unfortunately, you cannot directly use Instagram's or fetch Instagram's data directly into your program as a dictionary. पहले तो हम धीरे धीरे अभी डिक्शनरी को ही समझेंगे कि इसमें और कौन कौन से फंक्शन होते हैं, बट किसी चीज़ को समझने से पहले हम ये भी देख लेना चाहते हैं कि वो यूज़ कहाँ होती है. So instead of using directly this dictionary, uh, instead of explaining every bit and function of it, I'm going to explain that where it is used on the web. So things like this Instagram and Zomato and Facebook and some other services, they do not let their data to be fetched by anybody. For example, you created your own Instagram app, all right, maybe in Python, and suppose it runs on your computer, and you don't want to fetch other people's data because you obviously you need a password for other people's account for that. Suppose you want to fetch your own data in your app which is stored on Instagram server, you won't be able to fetch that because that data is not public. That data can only be accessed on the platform which Instagram or Facebook or Zomato or these commercial service provides. But there are also free data which you can fetch. For example, there are services which synchronizes and sends you time. They will actually send you the time of um, each and every time zone in the form of a dictionary, and then you can use it in your own program. I will show you a similar example that where dictionary is used on the web. So there is a online service that provides the currency conversion rates. Okay, and I think this is it, or this one. Let me open it and we'll see. The next connection is quite terrible. Yes, right here. So this is a service, and it is, as you can see that, let me zoom it. It is maintained and run by the European Central Bank. And you can use this service into your app or into your Python program, and it will fetch data from the internet. And then that data will be see in the form of a dictionary like this. Okay, so it will have a bunch of data. For example, you are querying exchange rate against which currency? For example, are you querying the different exchange rate against Indian rupees or US dollar or euro or Sri Lankan rupee or Nepalese rupees or Pakistani rupee or any other currency? And then it will send you the rates of other currency and the date on which this rates were implied. I'm not going to go into details of JSON. We'll cover that later. What I'm going to show you that this data is sent to different devices in the form of a dictionary. Let me show you some of these. Okay, I think right here. So let me show you this in plain text. All right, see, this is the data that you will be getting from this service if you'll use this URL that is written right above. If you use this into your program, you are going to receive data in this form, which is basically a dictionary. You are seeing, look here, there's a key and then there is its value. Okay, key, value, and key, value. You are going to get data in this form into your program, and then you can use it. So dictionaries are used in a lot of places. And while we are on this website, let me show you one other thing. Okay, let me show you how this service is made. So right here on the top, they are so nice that they have provided the source code of their server, that how they have implemented this on their end. So let's look at this source code. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so this is the source code. It is hosted on a site called GitHub, where you can write code and it will be saved forever. So they have put their entire code into this GitHub server. What I want to show you right here in the end, on the right here on the right corner, you can see that the entire code is written mostly The rest is HTML and CSS, which are not programming language. They're just to display the website and all that. But the the bulk of this code is written using the language Python, not C, not C++, not Java or Flutter or Kotlin or PHP, but in Python. So the entire server that is sending you this data is, and that is used by the European Central Bank, is written in the language of Python. So this language that you are learning right now is a very powerful language, and this is a real world example of this. See, you can see that this code, these files, app.py, utils.py, these are all Python files. And the code that they have right here, you can see this, all this code is basically, it's Python. Okay, you can see def, which is for a function, and you can see other things like if, all right, and these double equal to signs, if, all right, if, else, return, all right. So these are all and you can see right here, you can see that this, they have created a small symbolic dictionary right here. So everything that you are learning here is quite basic, but you can scale it up and make real programs that can impact and that can help other programs. A lot of programming works like this. You create programs which are isolated, but they can also be used by other programs, your services. For example, this service that provides the exchange rate for different currencies, and they will provide you the current exchange rate, which is at this fine minute. And that is used by a lot of banks, a lot of financial softwares, a lot of financial institution like business channels and all that. There is also several services available that provides you such dictionaries about the real dictionary. For example, if you want to query the meaning of English word hazardous, right? So there are services, for example, Oxford Dictionary service that you can use in your program to fetch the meaning of that word. So I have just told you the structure of dictionary, how dictionary works, how you can output one value of a dictionary. If you want to output the entire dictionary, first let me remove this other dictionary from here. This Instagram data is not needed. And let me remove the list too, because this is not a class about list. That was just for comparison. If I remove this key from here, and if I just use the name of the entire dictionary, and I don't provide a key with it, what will happen is that it will print the entire dictionary, but not in any specific order. So it will sort it any way that it like, and it will print the entire dictionary for you. You can even use for loop on a dictionary, but I'm not going to go through that in this class. In this class, I'm going to tell you how to change the value, a given value in a dictionary. So suppose you want to change the marks of history. So you can do that like this. This history marks is saved in this variable. So first you write the name of the dictionary, then square brackets के अंदर आप उस key का नाम लिखते हो, and you can write in double or single inverted comma. It doesn't matter. If this is single inverted comma here, you can use double here, and if this is double there, you can use single here. Single and double quotes are treated basically the same way in Python, but not in other languages. So uh, let's write the name of the key which we want to change. We want to change the value of history. And then just like you assign a value to some other variable, you just write an equal to sign and you put the new value. Suppose we have to correct the value to be 80. So now the value of history will change from 85 to 80. All the other values will remain intact. So let me run this. And you can see the value of history was changed to 80. So you can change any value into a dictionary using its key. You can output a single value from a dictionary using its key, or you can output the entire dictionary using simply the print method and the name of the dictionary without using its key. Okay. What if you want to remove one of these items? Suppose we want to remove the physics marks, all right? Or suppose the accountancy marks, for some reason it was there and we want to remove it. So if you'll remember that we have a function called pop, which you used in lists, and that function can be used in the dictionary too. So how we are going to use that? We are going to write the name of the dictionary, and we are going, and not the name of the key yet. Okay, first we are going to write dot, and then because we are going to use a function on this dictionary, so we have to use a dot, and then the name of the function. The name of this function is pop. We are going to, this is a function that is used to remove something from a dictionary, and then this function has this characteristic rounded brackets, और इस rounded brackets के अंदर हम वो key provide करेंगे जो हम remove करना चाहते हैं. Suppose we want to remove physics. So what this line will do, it will look at the dictionary which we have provided right here, and then it will see, oh, we want to remove a key because it's written pop, and then it will look for the key that we have provided, physics, and it will remove it. Okay, so let's run this. And you can see now when the dictionary is printed, there is no physics. Okay, it has been popped or removed. If you want to remove the last item from your list, you have to write pop item. Okay, so what pop item does, that it does not removes the first or the item that you are providing, but it simply removes the last item from your dictionary. Let's run this. And now you can see that what is the last item that has been removed. So basically it will sort it out. ये अपने हिसाब से sort कर लेता है, and then whatever is in the end, it will simply pop it. Okay, hopefully other people को मेरी आवाज आ रही होगी. The class is only 2 minutes left, so it won't matter now. The class will be over for now. This week काफी class miss हो गई. I think around 3 classes has been missed, so we'll extend the class a little bit to cover for all the lost classes that we had made in this week and in the previous week. So probably there won't be any gaps in the next week, and we'll extend a class a little bit to cover for everything that we have missed. This class will be available as a recording for those who are not able to attend for some reason, or to those to whom my voice was not clear. The class will be available as a recording, and uh, I was a little slow and lazy in providing you the exercises. I will provide it, or the assignments I will provide it with this class. All right. कल क्लास नहीं हुई थी, so there is unfortunately no recording available for last year class, because last day's class, because there was no class. This is the class which happened after 3 days, I think. So that is it. You can follow along again on YouTube if you have missed anything from this class. Let me end this.